What's going on, y'all? I'm Queen of Ocelots, and I have returned to Graystar with yet another video today. Welcome to my latest series, Big Boss Battles, or Big Breasted Boss, or Big Booty Bad Guys. Whatever y'all prefer, but I'm going to call it Big Boss Battles. Anyway, you guys, we're going to delve into every boss fight that will appear on this series. I will go over 3 points, which includes the lore behind the boss, the actual difficulty and gameplay during said battles, and of course, music. I love video games, I love talking about them, but I usually don't have someone to talk to because, I don't know, people don't really talk about that in a regular setting. Anyway, before we get started, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and it lets me know what your thoughts are. Like, it lets me know what to do, like, oh, let me try to fix this. But anyhow, Dower, let's get started. On our first episode of Big Boss Battles, we're going to start off with my first boss, at least the boss that I firmly remember as a young Loss, playing on the GameCube. It was my brother's, but when I could, I recall encountering this beast, whom she is named the She-Beast Metrid Queen. The Parasite Queen. Get it right. Hailing from 2002's Metrid Prime, the Parasite Queen is the first boss you encounter in this Nintendo masterpiece. I'm sorry, but I'm going to be honest. Metroid is my all-time favorite franchise, and Metrid Prime is my favorite game, so sorry if I seem a little biased. Anyhow, Dower, we're going to start off with the lore leading up to the Queen of Roaches, or more like fleas with no legs. At the beginning of the game, we are told a distress beacon led us to a derelict space vessel, or frigate Orpheon. Just outside Talon 4, that big planet on the back, frigate Orpheon is where it all goes down. We enter as Samus in some amazing music BT dubs. And make our way inside this seemingly abandoned ship. It's quiet and the music is atmospheric, but upon entry we are introduced to an unpressurized room and 5-eyed roaches with hands floating in our face. Even with that sexy suit, I would have fell out. We pressurize the room, they hit the ground, and we carry on with our business. OMG, they're on the floors. We step into this room, which I can assume stink, and witness a truck-sized bug with rat teeth dead across the floor, stabbing old Bud before meeting its end. We kill a few of the little ones as they feed on bleeding corpses, and surprisingly find a space pirate chilling in the corner, half dead, and still feel obligated to shoot me, Samus, trying to be a hero. We continue further, despite my better judgment, and find some more roaches, and of course, data entries, which, if you didn't know, is how Metrid Prime conveys its story. That is what a scan visor comes into good use. So on one of the entries, left by a space pirate scientist, I'm assuming, states 2 Parasite Queen specimens have become volatile, meaning things are about to get hella crazy if they haven't already. So we take the elevator down, traversing destroyed parts of the vessel, and discover what appears to be a live Parasite Queen, or unknown specimen, whatever. You kill the few crack fiends and move on. In the next room, you are first met with yet another Parasite Queen corpse and a turret gun built to defend the area. One would assume the room is significant due to the extra security. It is, by the way, because it appears to be an animal testing room, and someone with the gall tries to shoot at you. The trifling alien is easily dispatched, and we move on until we find a door with an X in its center. You are immediately disrespected with a jump scare, blah blah blah, and a bunch of bodies. You open the next door, and more bodies. A bright orange light draws you closer. The room is quiet. Until OMG, the pirates need to stop leaving out food because these roaches full grown. The Parasite Queen makes her debut. Now if you've been scanning everything, you'll learn space pirates would literally leave their business out for everyone to read. Everyone meaning Samus, which they literally have a code for just in case she shows up. And they're still not prepared. Anyway, you discover a bunch of information about Phazon tests they've been practicing, leaving the parasites mutated, and even died after prolonged exposure. The space pirates will infuse different batches of Phazon, which is mutagen that pretty much caused the entire trilogy, into their tanks to see what happened, which will initiate as soon as the larval stage. This experimentation would, in turn, grow them to extreme sizes, giving them the ability to spew grossly acidic vomit, grow and strengthen their jaws, and make them incredibly aggressive. The Parasite Queen's characteristics needed time to fully mature, so that's why a lot of them so big and still under intense examination. I'm assuming the phase on just absorb better with the baby's supple skin. Anyway, due to the heightened aggression, I'm guessing constant abuse set them off, resulting in the frigate's complete and utter destruction. So, these things were supposed to be bioweapons, akin to the titular Metroids, meaning the Space Riders didn't stand a chance. Most of them either die from severe lacerations to the body, blunt trauma, acidic burns, and even blood loss, because these parasites give you the sucking you'll never forget. It just baffles me how underprepared for everything they were. Some of them tried fighting back, but lost really badly to comical levels. Some of them even escaped, of course, to the closest planet, Talon 4, which I land on. There are very few pirates left, most of them barely alive, and even less can actually fight back. It's kind of sad until you realize they deserve it. The frigate just had a bad roach problem, so they decided to experiment on some of them, which made these, and finally this monstrosity, the baddest queen on the scene. The actual boss battle begins just beyond a scary door. The Parasite Queen does her thing, showing off her shape and everything, showing how thick, before presenting a rather imposing creature. Right away you scan the Parasite Queen. She is definitely much larger than others we've seen. She's a full-grown queen, genetically engineered with a mutagen, phazon, and possessed traits other parasites lacked. She holds her massive girth with only 2 of her limbs, moving about just as quickly as I did. She seems strong, formidable, but exactly how strong is she? Her attacks only consisted of spewing her acidic vomit, where she believes I'll be next. She has a strong exoskeleton, giving her ability to eat a few attacks. However, as the first boss, she is weak. I mean weak. Regular shots devour her health, even if I don't aim for her weak spot, which is also her mouth. Rockets will take chunks as well as charged shots. If she actually hits you, it's like a tickle. I mean, it's embarrassing. Her only way of defense are the barriers surrounding her, which you can easily strafe around. With a few good shots, she's an easy slut to take down. I mean, she loses so hard that the entire frigate falls apart. The battle is extremely easy, but for me it's memorable. This is the introduction to probably the best game series of all time. It was interesting leading up to the battle. The battle itself was decent, especially if you're still learning the controls. Despite being a big tooth roach, I was glad to encounter her once again. Metrid Prime has probably some of the best music I've ever heard in a video game, and that includes this fight. She roars over near silence just before the machine-like factory tones play. Then a loud sound of dread and evil fills your ears as the battle begins. It's loud, fast-paced, and actually kind of intimidating. She almost doesn't deserve it. I can literally play this song on repeat and imagine that thing just chasing me down the hall. I don't know. It's weird, but it's good. Her theme song is really good, and it's an amazing start to an otherwise amazing game. And that about wraps up today's Big Boss Battles. Thank you guys so much for coming to watch. Go in the comments and tell me what you think, and tell me if you need any more details or anything I should work on. I do intend on doing more from this series. Metroid is my favorite game series of all time, so I had a lot of fun doing this. I appreciate all the subscribes, the likes, and the comments. It really does help the channel, and it really motivates me to keep doing this. So you guys, if you can, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm Queen of Ocelots, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.